Our country and the state of South Carolina were built by men and women who had a vision for what might be with hard work and dedication. This is a story about one of those dreams becoming a reality and continuing to grow and expand. Born in 1944 in Williamston, South Carolina, George Washington Martin and his wife Debbie would become one of the cornerstones of the American auction industry. George's entrepreneurial spirit reshaped the region's auction landscape, leaving an enduring mark on thousands.
I remember many years ago, I was in the restaurant business and I had a concession trailer. And I love Mr. George, and we would come here to the auctions all the time. My family bought here, and one day I was talking about my concession trailer, and Mr. George said, "Miss Donna, I need somebody to work offsite auctions. Would you be interested in doing that for me?" I said, "Sure." And I said, "Mr. George, what are you going to charge me to do it?" And he said, "Darling, not one penny. I appreciate you coming and doing that for me." And he never charged me anything at all. And I will never forget him for that.
George was very much a people person. He was the third of four boys in Carol and Bonnie Martin's family. I was the fourth son. George and I were brothers. And so he was 7 years older than I am. And he really valued people and wanted to talk to people and make friends with them. And he would do anything for them.
As a customer, I remember one time I was here to pick up a trailer 2 or 3 weeks after the auction where I had bought it, and it was down at the end of the lot, and George saw a truck hooking up to the trailer and moving it, so he came running down there. He thought somebody was stealing it, and it was me, so we had a big laugh about that because George and I had been very close. And
what he valued most about the people around him is, he just loved his family, for one. I mean, they always came first, and then George just, to me, he's one of the best guys in the world. I mean, he's just one of those guys that demanded you to talk to him, and just, if you didn't like George, you didn't get along with anybody.
George loved people more than almost any person I've ever met in my life. Nothing suited him better than to walk into a room, walk into an auction arena or an auction yard, and there be, whether there was 2 people or 100, he was going to speak to every single one of them.
In 1973, George and Debbie founded Martin & Martin Auctioneers Incorporated, a venture that blossomed from humble estate auctions into a legacy that spans half a century. Their business started in a small shopping center and grew quickly. The auction enterprise evolved alongside the changing face of the upstate South Carolina economy. From farming to construction, George's auctions mirrored the transitions of the times. Relocating and expanding, their company became a beacon of change along Interstate 85, symbolizing the expansion from agriculture to industry. George's vision multiplied when he and Debbie's 2 sons entered the auction industry. Jeff founded Martin & Martin Auctioneers of Mississippi Incorporated, later rebranded Jeff Martin Auctioneers. Joey founded Joey Martin Auctioneers. The Martin name is known nationally for construction, transportation, and related auctions. George's impact went beyond his own business endeavors. He took great pride and joy in supporting and encouraging the next generation of auctioneers in Ringman.
I have told this to many people over the years. I wouldn't have anything in the auction industry without George Martin. He took me under his wing. He mentored me. He taught me so much, and he got me into he opened so many doors for me.
He valued people more than himself. He served people. He served people, and that's why people were just so drawn to him. He loved people, and people loved him in response to that because he was genuine. He really cared.
One of Jeff's sayings and one of the things Jeff lives by now came from his father, George. It was do the right thing every time, all the time, without question. And you never have to worry about laying your head on the pillow at nighttime.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't be in selling construction equipment without George. I'm a livestock guy, and he was actually at the 2005 World Championship when I was fortunate enough to win. It's the first time I'd ever met him. He come up to the door as I was driving out in the truck and just said, congratulations. And then we've been friends ever since. And him and Harry Anderson, asked me if I would come down or if I ever thought about selling construction equipment. I said, no, but I'm pretty sure it's the same numbers that we're using in the cattle deal. So that's how I got started. They invited me to come help one day, and I don't know how many years it's been now, but I just can't thank him enough. I don't know. He was my dad away from home, so I can't thank him enough.
His mentorship shaped fellow professionals and enriched the industry. Collaborations with institutions like Yoder and Fry Auctioneers solidified his legacy, earning him a place in the South Carolina Auctioneers Hall of Fame. George's business was second to his commitment to faith. A revered figure in Guthrie Grove Church, George exemplified service and dedication by storing up treasures in heaven and leaving a spiritual legacy as well. In 2013, George Washington Martin passed away. However, his legacy lives on. Today we celebrate 50 years of auction excellence, carried on by his sons and a generation of auctioneers, ringmen, and business leaders. George's story is an American success story, repeated by faithful business leaders around the country. The story is special to each of us because it is the foundation of our story. Here's to another 50 years of doing the right thing all the time, without question, without hesitation.